at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to the Daily Gun Show. Come to live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific for about an hour or 90. Well, I should say 90 minutes or 2 hours each day. We do 3 gun-related topics, different topics throughout the week. We run it live on the YouTube, simulcast it over at gunchannels.com, where we're watching the live comments coming in from everybody who watches the show live. We appreciate everybody who does watch it live. We ask everybody who enjoys the show to think about someone else out there who might also enjoy it live or after the fact, and encourage you to write an email or make a phone call and let them know about the show. It might be a good way to a reason to connect with somebody who you haven't talked to in a while. We would like to see the show grow, and it's a way that we can ask our listeners, who are probably going to know best who else out there might be interested in what we're doing here. But we take the audio from the show and post it as a podcast on iTunes. And we encourage everybody, again, who's listening to the show now or in the future, to leave us some feedback on whatever platform it is. That does help the show get recommended to more listeners and lets us know where you're listening from. With all that, we have 5 hosts. 2 of us are here today. We got Bob jumping in, normally from Canada, but from Tucson.
Hey, beautiful day here today.
Yeah, it's awesome today, isn't it? I'm also here in Tucson. Don't know where Dano is. Don't know where Smeggy is. Probably in NRA show. And then Z jumps in about an hour when he's done with one of his 9-to-5 jobs. So, yeah, Tucson's awesome today. It's just comfortable and nice breeze. I'm assuming it's the same over where you're at.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful. I can actually wear pants and a shirt today.
So let's see. Today is episode number 300. So we were planning on giving away a Chrysler 300 today, but unfortunately it fell through right at the last minute. So I guess we won't have a car giveaway. But we still can do the show. We'll be talking about alternative gun topics, talking crap about firearms, gun shaming. I don't think either one of us do that. So I don't think we won't have much to say on any of that.
I think it's that was shaming people about 9mm. Actually,
yeah, I'm thinking that was a subtle hint for like Dano. But if he's not here, then I don't know if we need to say much about that. But then we'll talk about FN, and then we'll wrap up the week, and then all the stuff we do normally, the gun shop of the day and the gun of the day. But before we dig into all that, we usually take a break at the beginning here to see if anything happened overnight. And we should start inviting, again, we got a bunch of people jumping in right at the beginning of the show like this. So if anybody has something that we forget to talk about, something that might have happened overnight or something worth addressing, let us know. But anyway, anything happened overnight?
Well, I was watching a little bit of the feeds from the NRA. I guess that was more this morning, but NRA is going on, so that's a big thing.
Trump didn't speak already, did he?
I think he did. I thought he did.
I thought it would be like at night on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it was more like get in, get out on Friday.
Yeah, well, he's a pretty busy man. Running the country like this has got to be a lot of work. Notice his hair's gone all white, eh? Happens to every president.
Yeah, when you hear about the state of the world, I'm sure that's quite a bit of weight, right?
When they tell him about the aliens in Area 51, it'll turn my hair white, I'm sure.
All right, so then I guess we'll dig into the show. So talking about this idea of gun shaming, instead of embracing yourself in the gun community and realizing everyone doesn't have the same taste as you.
Yeah, well, that's true, and some people do actually shame people about it. Like, maybe somebody that all they can afford is a high point, and people are, oh, it's a piece of shit. Well, you know what? Any gun's better than no gun. as long as it goes bang when you pull the trigger, and apparently high points do. So yeah, I don't really feel that way. I mean, I'll tease people about stuff, but you know, they know I'm teasing because, of course, I'm Canadian. I've got so many limited options on firearms. So, you know, as long as you keep it lively and light and it's just joking and the people know that, I don't have a problem with the little banter that goes back and forth about caliber and you know, what gun you carry, Glock versus a good gun like a high power, that kind of thing. But, you know, as far as that goes, that's fine. But it's when people just like look down on someone and sneer at them because of what they carry, that I think is counterproductive to what we want. I don't know what you think of that.
I don't necessarily disagree. I would go at it from the angle that you got to be able to justify your position on stuff. So if you're going to choose something just because it's contrary, or you're going to choose something just because you don't like some of the people who choose the alternative, then you don't get to just act as though that's a decision for valid reasons. I mean, I think it's worth challenging people in some of the short-sighted or just dumb positions they'll take on stuff. I guess that's not every disagreement. Doesn't always necessarily have a completely dumb side or like a, you know, the side that's clearly inferior, but a heck of a lot of them seem to, and people just don't care because obviously there's no consequence really. We're talking about very few people ever need to use firearms for the things that people just, you know, complain about, even if it's hunting and stuff and long range shots. You know, if it's a discussion about what reticle is better, there's just not that many people actually going out and hunting. Some people might go to the range. You know what I mean? And even if you go hunting, you're not guaranteed to be taking that 600-yard shot.
Yeah, and to be brutally honest, I mean, most people can't shoot a gun to its ability anyway. I mean, there are the exceptions, and there's some exceptional shots out there, but I mean, the vast majority of us, we can complain that it's our gun that's off, but it's probably not going to be. It's more than likely just we haven't practiced enough. We, you know, for whatever reason, maybe you're getting older, the eyes aren't as good, stuff like that. So, you know, when I hear people complaining, oh, well, you know, that one doesn't do this minute angle, and, you know, it's kind of ridiculous in that, you know, there's, like I say, the majority of people can never shoot a gun to its true potential. I mean,
well, I don't agree with you there. For me, I'm still able to shoot a gun very accurately, but the global warming has changed the atmosphere enough that it seems that my bullets go astray sometimes. So it's nothing that changed with me, and my gun is still the best choice. It's just that the earth is the globe has warmed around me, and I blame Al Gore for that.
Oh yeah, or it could just be that, you know, because of, you know, liberal tears, it's putting more moisture in the air, and that's causing, you know, a little bit of distortion. A lot of liberal tears lately. So I don't know. Like, is anybody saying anything out in the audience about gun shaming or anything?
A little bit. Squib said he shames people, but I also say any gun is better than no gun. I guess that's technically true. But again, we're probably talking about caliber shaming, or maybe what model or even type of gun shaming.
Yeah, but even that, I think most people are going to agree with Squib and say, you know, if all you can carry is a 22 rimfire, well, it's better than carrying a sharp stick. You know.
Yeah, I guess. But on the other hand, I still think some of the things that people get all defensive when they make a poor decision, and then I guess I can understand it. When I didn't have the same situation because I bought all my guns either when I was a little kid, and I didn't have that. You know, who cares? When you're a little kid, nobody challenges your decisions, right? And maybe they do, but you don't take and care about it. And then later on, when I was older, buying guns for whatever I perceived I needed them for, all you really have is people at the gun shop saying, "Yeah, buy whatever you want. Yeah, it's great." People at gun shows would tell you you're an idiot or something. But when there's just magazines, like there was up until really the forum days, the mid 2000s. All you really had was feedback from articles. So articles, again, are there to sell you stuff. Very rarely is an article there to just give you the down low on what's going on and tell you what works and what don't, because they don't want to offend people and they want to keep potential advertisers and all those stupid things. So you really didn't get a lot of feedback until recently. So some of the decisions I made happened in a vacuum, let's say, where now everybody says, hey, look what I just got. And then you're going to get feedback, because that's the whole nature of what we're doing here. So people have probably a different situation, and also are going to have either thicker or thinner skins, I guess. Like I said, maybe I don't have a thick skin. Maybe I just never had anybody questioning my decisions. So I got to make them all in secret. All my Tauruses and Rugers and stuff were all purchased before I was playing with stuff on the internet. So by the time I was paying attention to training and talking to instructors about what worked and what didn't in their experiences, and then talking to people who are military or whatever and law enforcement positions where they might see a lot of different firearms and stuff, getting some information from them. And nowadays people just go online and they get all of that just dumped on them, right? So anyway, I think there's some decisions that can be made now that are, again, made in spite, or like out of just trying to be different or whatever, that are foolish. And I think single action, double action is one of them. I think that's a ridiculous choice to make when you've got choices that are better. That's, I don't think, shaming. And I don't know if we're reaching out to that. You could basically debate if 45 is better than 40 or something, or if 9 is the same as 380 or something. And it's like you say, anything's better than nothing. But is truly anything better when there's like a choice between a striker fire or single action, which work consistently all the time, and then giving yourself a disadvantage of single action, double action?
Well, but that just becomes, the way you should look at it, especially online, because you get so much feedback, is you take it as that person's opinion, and they may believe they're right, and they may be, or they may not be, but it's just their opinion, and it may be an opinion that they can back up and everything else, but at the same time you can just say, but I like this and I'm going to continue to use it, and I'm not going to let it bother me. People, I think, have to grow that thick skin. And
but here's the thing, again, you can make a decision like, I want to use some archaic gun, I don't know, like a single action gun. That's on my carry gun. It's legal to do so. It's free country, you can do it. It's dumb. There's so many other things that are better, right? For all different ways, from lightness to appropriate caliber to capacity to like justification for your choice in court, court of your peers, trying not to look senile when you're walking around with a, single action revolver and you happen to need it, and then go to a court and now the other attorney gets that angle to work on you. Like, why'd you make this decision? You have to justify it. I mean, giving yourself all that grief. Okay, so that's, again, if that person who gets a bunch of feedback on that they don't like, if they resort to like, oh, you're shaming, that's like an excuse. That's like a dodge. They can go, oh, you're just shaming, and then justify their position and keep it. And it just kind of, and I don't think that's this, I don't know, I'm trying to differentiate that kind of thing from shaming, because I think shaming is more like you were saying at the beginning, more frivolous, like, oh, just one team or the other, who really cares? Y'all like football or something. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Although, like I say, it's a free country, and people have that choice. And if they choose, like after you've explained why in your opinion, it's not a good idea to carry it, if they still choose to carry it, you kind of just got to let it drop and say, well, it's their choice, because, like I say, it's a free country, and people can make bad choices as well as good ones. It's up to them.
Yeah, and you could prosper with a bad choice. It just can still be a dumb choice in the overall scheme of things.
I mean, but it may be that's what you're comfortable with. That's what you shoot better with. And as far as you're concerned, in any of those situations, you're only going to need those 5 rounds. Some people seriously believe that. And, that's their belief. And, you can't force someone to think your way, right? So,
but no, that's the thing. Nobody's trying to either. Yeah. So it's not like there's anything to gain except for maybe, better.
Or the satisfaction of knowing that you proved that you were right. I mean, some people will do that too. I mean, that's their whole point. And of course, sometimes they're not always right, but they're going to keep beating that idea at you until they prove it. Those are the ones that I find annoying. Whereas you get other people, they're more like, they'll give you their points, they'll tell you why, and then if you don't, agree or do what they're suggesting, then it's just they are like, well, okay, that's your decision, kind of thing,
Yeah. Well, I figure.
And that's the way we have to, right?
Huh?
That's the way we kind of have to do it. It being a free country with free speech, we have the right to tell them that they're wrong, but at the same time, they have the same right to go, yeah, whatever. I don't care what your opinion is, and I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that thick skin, so they can do that.
Well, I'm going to suggest that we've solved this one, and that everyone now knows that 40 is superior, and we can move on to gun biz and the history of FN. So again, I'm waiting on the phone call. We're going to have the two presidents, Mr. F and Mr. N. We're going to be on the phone here. So before we get into that, before they call in, we'd like to feature one of the members over at Gun Channels between the first and second segment of the show. Gun Channels is a place we built a while back now, almost 4 years ago. It's a community focused on firearms, completely membership driven. So that in mind, we'd like to feature one of the members every day. And did we have a theme going this week? Not really sure. Let's see who we featured this week. Scrolling down to the end here, and we had Too Hottie yesterday. Jay Baloo. Wait, that was last week? No, that was last week. This week we had yesterday's Pomade. We had Pants, Tack Daddy, and is there another one? Too Hottie. And then today it is, I'll flip back over here, NativeGun. And I think these were just people that were active in the chat when we were putting them in here this week.
Yeah, it sounds like they're ones that are quite often in the chat. So yeah,
yep. NativeGun. Go ahead.
I chat with him often. Yeah, I chat with him quite often. I like him. He's a good guy.
Yep. And we got to bring up to the table. Doesn't chat so much, which is awesome because it's not a play. We didn't build Gun Channels just for these live chats. This happens to be a big factor of it. A lot of people enjoy it, but it's always good to see people that are participating in the other aspects of it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Who is the member of the day today?
NativeGun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Cool guy.
So you sound clear over there. You're back at the hotel, or?
Yeah, we're back at the apartment. Me, Pink, and Ballistics.
Ballistics.
Ballistic expansion.
Yeah,
Ballistic Jelly? Oh.
Maybe he multiplied or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It just felt like there was more of them.
So we're going to be talking about FN. I don't have much to say. If Pink is there, he probably has something to tell us about FN. I've been a fan of the company, I guess, but they're out of my price range, so I've only ever experienced them when other people owned them. I do have a couple of friends that have owned a lot of them, especially the 5.7 stuff. So I got a chance to shoot little P90s quite a bit, actually. What do you guys think of FN?
I quite like them, but again, it's one of those guns that's pretty much out of my price range for what I do with them. So
Bob just can't appreciate a fine firearm.
Oh, I can appreciate them. That's why I have Browning High Power, which is also made in Belgium. FN Belgium or France?
FN is not France.
So it's Belgium?
I think so.
Well, then I have to say, got to be a great gun because they make wonderful guns.
I know Pink really likes FN.
Is he there?
Not the compact trigger felt better than the 509 trigger, though.
Made in Belgium.
So are you saying that Ballistic doesn't know anything about triggers?
He liked the trigger on the compact or the that new launch.
Oh yeah, that new one? Yeah, he's talking real quiet. But yeah, that new FN, I don't know, man. The trigger's got tons of like take up and stuff.
I'd rather find out from somebody who knows something about revolvers.
God, quit jamming in my face. The new XDE or what? XDE, that's what it's called. That hammer-fired striker gun or whatever. My God, the trigger on it was atrocious. And I'm trying to think of another gun that I held. I'd have to have Ballistic remind me. But my gosh, some of the triggers on them.
Well, isn't that just common with a striker fired gun that you're always going to get a bad trigger?
Yeah.
You're going to get a consistent trigger. Whether or not you like it or not, I guess, is another thing. But Pink, we're talking about specifically FN for this segment. What is it about FN that you like so much? You have quite a few of them. What is it that attracts you to them?
Probably the quality. I mean, stainless steel barrel. Hundreds of thousands of rounds tested on the guns. I mean, I don't know. I just like them. I mean, when they're light, they're not a block on a stick like a Glock is.
I like the texturing on the FNs. They do a pretty good job with that.
So Pink, it's all product driven though? It's nothing about the company that you're a fan of or how it was used or some, I don't know, military unit they used, anything like that?
I mean, when I first started, looking at guns, I bought Springfield Armory. I bought a Glock, a couple other guns, and my FFL got in some FMSs, and I started playing with them, and I mean, I just fell in love with them.
Do you have any other shotguns?
Yeah, I do want to get one now. I've got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pistols. I've got the PS90. I think that's it.
I didn't even know they made shotguns.
FN's a pretty big company. Started in 1889, 127 years old. But yeah, they make everything. Handguns, submachine guns, rifles, full auto machine guns like tripod mounted stuff, shotguns, aircraft mounted weapons.
I mean, they have to put out quality products because they supply the U.S. military with product.
True. I had a friend that when I used to go up to Big Sandy and knew some people that shot up there, one of the guys had 2 Modus 50 BMGs that were just imported back before '86 that he just bought. So I got to shoot at those a couple of times. I don't know. Did you get to shoot that thing, Bob?
No, never did.
But yeah, obviously really nice quality guns. Never have. I don't know of anybody that considers them poor quality, but it's just their price that keeps them out of the range of most people.
Yeah, they supply a lot of militaries around the world, and that's so they're well built. And I think with their handguns and stuff like that, they go that extra little measure, which is one of the costs. It's one of the reasons they cost more, but definitely well made guns.
So I usually think of them in the same place as HK. Like they got such large military police contracts that their commercial stuff is subsequent to that. So while it's available, there's not a ton of it. Back when I was even still acquiring stuff and deciding what brand to go with, kind of stuff, decisions. Everything was proprietary back then. Although there wasn't much that was, consistent amongst different brands. All of their stuff was proprietary, just like HK. So I saw that as a never-ending road of having to buy their stuff or adapt it, which is usually bulky and weird. But that was my thing, is that they weren't exactly like I don't know, like a Henry or maybe even a Smith and Wesson, where they're here. They're our culture. and they speak English. I always assume they would be difficult to deal with, and then speak Austrian or something on the phone, or Bulgarian. What is it? Belgian?
Yeah, they kind of speak. I think it's French or almost French or something.
And then the other thing is they just don't have a heck of a lot of options. I mean, they do have a lot of guns, but it's like high-end military style. So it's, and I guess maybe some target stuff, or maybe I'm mixing them up with HK a little bit. But I consider them at that level with HK and FN and what was the other one? Anyway, we lost Pink there. Anything else you want to say about FN before we solve it?
Yeah, I'm pretty good on it. Maggie's back.
That's what I was saying. Do they have anything else? I guess Pink has a PS90, which is the P90 with a long barrel sticking out of it.
Oh yeah.
You put SPR in it to make it short and bring it back to its original measurements.
Yeah, I do want to end up with a short barrel for it. I was looking at suppressors today to stick on it when they become legal again.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I can't follow you down the suppressor line because what I like about the P90 is that when it's an actual P90 without the long barrel on there, it brings it to that unique weird bullpup thing that
Right.
Sticking a suppressor back on the front, you might as well have left it a long barrel. So I really think it's neat, and although I can't afford them, I think they're a neat option. If the ammo was available, that 50-round magazine is actually smaller than an AR mag. I think that's really got some potential, and it's not like like a small company that makes it. I mean, FN makes it. I haven't heard too many people complain about them as far as reliability.
And there's a couple other ammo brands that have started making it too, so that's why the prices of the ammo is coming down.
Oh, that's nice.
It would help if there'd be more pistols made in it. The one, if there was at least a couple of pistols made in it, that would help out, or some conversions or something. But such a weird shape, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
But
supposed to be really well.
talking about too, I guess. 5.7's a crazy unique gun.
Yeah. And they saved the Galaxy on Stargate with them too. So
That's true. Yeah, they kicked a lot of alien butt with those little guns.
Knowing that they'll work in various dimensions or galaxies is always good.
Oh yeah. All right.
I guess we'll end it on the FS2000, which is goofy looking. So just in case everybody thinks we like FN that much, they do make weird looking stuff too.
That is a weird looking gun.
All right, well, I guess we'll keep moving. So that'll take us through the gun biz section. I'll put a little line through it there. Put a little line through it so he knows what we've already done. That'll take us into the next segment of the show, which will be probably the gun shop of the day. Let's see, got a link right here. I don't know what I put out there, so let's see if I need to screen share it. Nope, got a dead website. So today we like to feature a gun shop every day. Today it's going to be Border Tactical in El Centro, California. So this was in the deserts right on the Mexican border, the international border with Mexico in the south end of California. There's is it I-10, I guess, that goes from Arizona across through Yuma and then over to San Diego. And it's just a long drive through the middle of the desert. It's sand and nothing, sand and sun type of desert. Looks like a beach or something. And in the middle of all that, there's sprouts up some green, and there's some fields and stuff there. So there must be a bunch of agriculture. And that little town is called El Centro, and that's where there's a couple of gun shops. The one I stopped at was called Border Tactical. I had posted some pictures of it, but we're having some website issues. So I don't have the pictures to show you, but I imagine go back to a chat from maybe October last year, and you might see some of the pictures from it. Anyway, an interesting little shop. It's a uniform shop and like a police supply uniform type of place. And then as you walk through that fairly large uniform store, in the back corner, you have access to, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 shooting lanes, and then a small retail firearms or gun shop. They only had maybe a dozen ARs that were all California compliant at the time, and then maybe a dozen or so handguns, which seems pretty small, but I'm not sure how big that town is and what kind of call they have. That might be stuff for their duty firearms for whatever border patrol or military or police or whatever's in the area, as opposed to maybe there was another shop in the town that is more for commercial stuff. But it was interesting because it was my first experience seeing a California store and just hearing the questions that people were talking about. That was in October last year, so it was before Gunmageddon actually happened, or maybe it was right after, but the questions were all about the Gunmageddon consequences. I think it might have been right after it all ended. But because I think they were talking about the consequences more than the possibilities. And otherwise, they seem pretty friendly. I have no idea, though I didn't buy anything there. But if you've got a shop that you want us to feature, we do like to feature a different gun shop every single day. And you can email us at dailygunshow@gmail.com and take pictures and send them, or post them on something like Facebook or Instagram. Make a quick video about them, link us to whatever it is you posted, and we'll help get the word out about the shop and your channel or whatever that you might have posted that stuff on.
Did we miss the patch panel stories?
No, I just skipped over it because I wanted to hit the gun shop thing.
Okay.
So I guess now I will zip over to that. So I'm going to screen capture here, and we'll see if anybody out there wants to pick one of the patches off the panel here, and then we will tell you a story about it, why it's on the patch panel. So we do this every once a week or so. Don't see anybody saying anything. It says El Centro, home of the Blue Angels. I didn't know that. The Blue Angels, that's the Air Force, right? Or no, the Air Force is the Thunderbirds. The Blue Angels are the Navy. That don't make sense. Why would the Navy be in the middle of the desert in California? I thought they'd just be on area or somewhere.
They're hiding from all the other boats.
I guess so.
Yeah, you should have seen how hard it was for them to get an aircraft carrier there.
They probably have one of the flying ones, like out of that movie.
Yeah, that's right.
So nobody's saying anything on the YouTube side about the patch panel. Nobody's saying anything on the gun channel side either. So we'll put it back up there, and I guess we'll go on to the next thing, which will be the, I don't know, what do we want to do next? Oh, wait, we're not ready to Z with the way we're going today. So I guess we'll go to the movie, the Iger section.
Or where we could go to the gun of the day, because I thought that'd be something you'd want to talk about.
Okay. What's the gun of the day?
It is the APS underwater assault rifle.
So the underwater AK-47?
Yeah, AK-74 more.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought seeing you had bought rounds for that thing, you would know something about it. It's an odd looking gun, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it definitely has a weird looking mag, because those bullets or the projectiles are like little spears. But I've only ever seen it in pictures. I mean, I've seen a couple of actual photographs of it, and then more drawings than anything else, like just mechanical drawings of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I've ever had an opportunity to see one in real life, though.
Yeah.
Well, because it was a prototype thing. I mean, I wonder how many were ever actually made. Like a handful or like two?
Oh, no, more than two for sure. I've seen too many videos of different types. I doubt it's the same gun in every video, you know?
Yeah. I think they did. They probably made enough that their special forces and stuff, like their version of SEALs, could use them. I think they're kind of neat. They don't have a rifled barrel, so apparently when they're not in the water, they still work, but they're just not that accurate. But would be kind of shitty to be a diver and run into the Russian divers who were coming back against you, and they've got those, and you've got a spear gun.
I wouldn't be too worried, because I'm sure all the porpoises and whales and octopuses and sharks and stuff are on our side because we're the good guys. So I like to think that when our SEALs and stuff are down there fighting with underwater Spetsnaz, that all the sea creatures team up on our side. Pretty sure that happens.
And plus, the Navy was training dolphins to use spikes on their heads that would inject CO2 into the enemy divers. So they probably do have some dolphins on their side for sure.
I never heard of that one.
You never heard of that? Oh yeah.
You think they could just put a needle on their blowhole and they could go up, stab them, and blow?
No, it was a special thing because they just taught the dolphins that when they saw an enemy diver, they'd come up and poke them with their head, and then they just put these kind of things. It was almost as cool as lasers on sharks, but apparently it caused the dolphins all kind of trauma because they didn't like doing that. Dolphins are sensitive.
I don't like the idea of putting our porpoises up within contact because then the commie might stab them. I don't like the idea of that. All right, well, we only got one comment coming in from Clay for the free 99 one. So Marco ain't there. He's out doing some partying or something.
Yeah, he's at the basketball game.
Basketball game.
Yeah, I guess there's like basketball in the city or whatever.
Lame. So anyway, we're talking about the free 99 patch. So if we look at the patch panel, there is this one that says free 99 on it. That's Marco's idea. That's what I was asking about Marco. So he asked me to make that one up for him. I think I sent him one and I made this one. It takes way too long. I have to sew the whole yellow part out first and then the red and the black. So I only made 2 of them. So that's one of them. And the other one Marco has. I think I sent him one. Anyway, that was Marco's. We were thinking about making a run of them, but have absolutely no feedback on it at all. I might have done like a video on the gear site about it once, but I don't know. I think it's some saying, you know, like people in the hood say it's free 99. That's what the kids are saying. It's all the rage with the kids these days.
At least the criminal type.
Oh, so you're calling yourself a criminal now?
I'm just saying, you ask someone how much you pay for that. Free 99. I mean, you just stole it.
All right. So, yeah, that's it. So basically we took a Best Buy tag and changed it using the power of computers to say free 99. Sewed a couple out. This is one of our, when I first started sewing them myself, I think this is one of my projects to learn the software and apply the software to the machine type of thing and sew it out. So that's the story. So we try to do that. If you have an idea about one of these that you have a question about or wonder what it's all about, then feel free to you email us. We can store them up, but once a week we try to go in there and touch on the patch panel, give you a little bit more insight to it. We use the patch panel every day for the tactical pop quiz, and we mention it occasionally, but I figured people might be interested in more insight to where those patches come from. So I guess we're here today. What? What now? Who?
Are you asking, did I see any windbreakers at the NRA show today?
They do have windbreakers for sale, right?
I didn't find that section. I'll have to look again tomorrow.
All right. Well, we're going to do a tactical pop quiz, even though Dana left us high and dry. Didn't leave anything in the thing for us to make one up ourselves. So here's to be the question for either the gun channel side, which we're looking at here on my screen. I'm screen sharing now. Or the YouTube side over here. We've got 33 people watching, so you got a 1 in 33 chance. You got a better chance if you're on the gun channel side because they hear stuff sooner, so there's less lag.
Which
but
is
the question is,
want to join the gun channels and Daily Gun Show.
You definitely want to join gun channels and then head over to the Daily Gun Show's page over here. And then the question will be on Wednesday for the tactical quiz, the actual tactical quiz. We had a 2-parter. The second part was a bunch of 40 caliber rounds in a blender. And we used that as the playoffs to see who was going to win the tactical quiz. So the question today is is how many rounds did we have in the blender minus 6? Go.
Come on, people. This better not take very long.
42.
At math.
Boom. Looks like Arctic won it today. It's obvious the answer is always 42, and there were 48 cartridges in the blender the other day. So that makes 48 minus 6. 42.
Oh, congratulations.
So we're going to send you over to this page, Tactical Pop Quiz, dailygunshow.com/Tactical Pop Quiz. And as soon as I find the right thing, we will paste that in there. You can head over there, check out the patches that we were just talking about on the patch panel. Some of them we make here, like the free 99. Some of them we have made from our designs. Some of them are donated to the panel. Some we bought. I bought this Full Auto Zone one, and a couple other these other ones. Some of them like Yankee and Hosh or Haas USMC, Everyday Civilian. These are people that gave it to us so they can participate in the panel. Dead Air Silencers gave us a bunch. Atlantic gave us some. So pick one. Let us know where to send it. We have a form down here. You can put a second choice in there. This patch or this picture is a little old. I know that the Green Beret one is gone, and I think a couple of others are missing from here. I just haven't sent stuff out and haven't taken a new picture. So definitely put a second choice up there right now. But otherwise, we appreciate the people that do listen to us live, and we like to throw stuff out there occasionally, randomly, but consistently. And thanks for watching and listening.
And since Z's not here, that makes you Arctic. Today's tactical hot shot
Of the day.
No, because I said today first. I keep messing that up now. I'm not going to say today's tactical hot shot of the day. That just seems weird.
It seems appropriate.
Too many today's.
Leaves us hanging. Yeah. So we have to. So
All right, I'll try and flex it next time, and I'll do it better.
Today's Tactical Pop Quiz is brought to you by Math. Math.
Yes. Math.
All right, so that was the Tactical Pop Quiz that Dana left us to do ourselves. I think we managed through it all right. Then it takes us to the weekly wrap-up, I guess. Trying to milk it.
We've done the movie of the day. Oh, we're going to do weekly wrap-up, yeah.
I'm trying to not do the movie. Oh, wait. Right. We having a hurricane right now? What's going on?
The wind's blowing pretty good. The trailer's rocking.
If Bob falls over, then I'll go close my door because he's about 13 miles away from me, and the wind's blowing that direction. So if his trailer goes rolling, that'll give me a warning that I'll go close my door.
If mine goes rolling, that's a big wind.
Yeah, it just about knocks shit over here, so there's definitely winds a coming. All right, so this week and the weekly wrap-up. So I usually go back to this place where we keep all the past shows and we talk about what we've been talking about this week. We'll go backwards in time. So first segment of the show today, we talked about shaming, gun shaming. Since it was just Bob and I, we knew that was really for Smeggy and Dano and Z's. It was really to talk to them. So we didn't have much to talk about. We whipped through that pretty quick. And then we talked about the history of the FN. Yesterday, we talked about gun stuff, our customer service experiences with various manufacturers. And I guess DB Cooper isn't over there in your hotel room right now.
No, he's actually at the game with Marco.
Ridiculous. So at some point, we'll try to have DB on if we can peel him away from his precious basketball game to talk about his
I think he's hanging out later tonight.
Well, anyways, we're not the show there tonight. So then we got yesterday we talked about training and talked about targets. If you had to bring 50 rounds to the range, how to do so effectively or efficiently. Did we talk about the little Irish gun shop? I think we did not. Then we did Gun Channel Story Time. We talked about Zombie Master Ed and his crazy Mosin stories. Then on Wednesday, we had the tactical quiz. We talked about that. We did a two-parter. I think the tactical quiz was pretty good. I'm really planning on putting a little more effort in the tactical quiz in hopes that will drive more people to throw some scratch into the hat that we put out there for doing the show and take it up another level and put a little bit more effort into the tactical quiz next week. I think we did pretty good this week as well. Got double use out of it. So we ringed that that blender of 40 rounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
9mm, we only got one tactical quiz out of it, and it would have been exhausted. There would have been no more juice left in there. I could probably get one more tactical quiz.
Well, unless we caliber. See, we could do it again with a different caliber. Huh? Yeah.
Maybe. I still have the blender. I didn't throw it away just after after the quiz or anything.
Well,
We
there
talked
you go.
about top 10 vehicles, and I don't even know if we came up with 10 because that was a silly idea. We just did it to piss off Smeggy. Then we talked about various CCW types of insurances. On Tuesday, we talked about Second Amendment and immigrants. And then we talked about gun posters and patch panels in your cubicles where you work. You guys did the tactical, what do we call it? The tactical daily gun show hashtag showdown, or is it the tactical hashtag daily gun show showdown?
The hashtag Daily Gun Show Showdown. I don't think it's tactical necessarily.
I guess it doesn't need tactical. So we had 188 posts this week. Hopefully we'll have that into the thousands next week. Tell Marco to let people know about our hashtag showdown. And then let's see, we had Monday, we talked about the best breakdown survival guns. Talked a bit about getting kids onto the social media. And we did the opposite of what we're doing now, which is taking us back to what we're doing right now, which is, I guess, going to spin around and look at next week. We will be starting episode 301 on Monday. So this is our 300th episode. We'll be talking about organizing a bunch of people, and in our social media segment or our Gun Channels University portion of the show on Monday, we're going to talk about binary triggers. Specifically, are they going to last, is what the question says here in our gun tech segment. Tuesdays, we're going to have to reorganize this a little bit. But at this point, we'll be talking about will the election of Trump reduce activism? Will the election of Trump reduce activism due to complacency? That's what it says. So that's an interesting one, and it'll be interesting to hear what happens after the NRA. Are people going to be jazzed up to purchase or jazzed up to become active? I really want to hear what he says about the NFA and what he says about the Hughes Amendment, what he says about the Hearings Protection Act, what he says about the bill that's going through to change sporting use to lawful use, and then all those little tight, messy ones that we don't like to think about that had to do more with, if you're on Social Security, if there's a right for the state to decide whether or not you can purchase firearms, and what he thinks about universal background checks. I'm not sure if he's going to get into that kind of meat at the thing, or if he's just going to make it a rah-rah festival. Now, since we have three people that were at the event, did Trump already happen, or is that like tonight or tomorrow or something?
Yeah, Trump spoke this afternoon. I did not go to see him talk, so I'm not sure what he said.
No, when you were backstage with him, did you pass him off a mic and muzzle patch?
Yes, I sure did. When he asked me my opinion of everything, I'm going to try and get him on the show next week. So, surprise guest.
Right on. So there's a good chance we'll have him on, or maybe we won't.
Yeah, it's, 98% he said yes, but like he said 2% he might not be able to. So, running the country.
Well, what about Ivanka? Can you get her on the show?
I don't think so. But Ballistics here took a picture with his son. He was walking around talking with people, and
it's Ballistics Mansion, right? Did he change something?
Yeah. No, I just call him Ballistics. That's my nickname for him.
Changing someone's name, Smeggy.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So, I don't know. I'm assuming, did they blast his speech out into the loudspeaker so everybody could hear it, or did you have to pay bucks to go in there, or did you guys? What's up with that?
All let me get the price breakdown. I don't know if it started out at 15 or 20, but it's like 15, 25, 35 for like auditorium style seating.
$15? You didn't go in there?
Yeah, well, I was carrying 2 guns. Hell.
Oh.
They wouldn't let me in
there. Yeah, so I figure that someone would have recorded it. We can watch it later. It's got to be on the YouTube somewhere. But
well, I've been to some events before where they'll when there's a big time thing like that, they'll just broadcast it out to the room. So it sounds like they didn't do that.
They did not do that as far as I know. I didn't hear anything.
I'm guessing with paying for, seats and stuff like that, they weren't gonna broadcast it out to the people that pay anything.
I'm sure they did.
Anybody can do it. As long as you pay for a seat.
All right. Well, then, let's see. We were talking about will activism die due to complacency? So I guess we'll be talking about that on Tuesday. We have a good idea, bad idea segment of the show where we all face off for a no holds barred discussion, argument, debate on a topic. And next week it'll be clearing versus holding up in one room. So clearing your house versus holding up in one room. I'm sure that'll go to blows. We'll get really mad about that one.
Yeah.
So then we'll have the hashtag Daily Gun Show showdown on Tuesdays as well. So get ready for the rest of that action or the continuing saga of our showdown. And like I say, we're hoping to have 1,000 hashtags by next week. So do your part. Throw a couple of dozen each, and we'll have 1,000. That's just a few a day, so it's not that big a deal. Then we got Wednesday, CCW topic, alternative self-defense tools. That might be interesting.
Especially people who are at the NRA conference, they should be throwing out hashtags all the time, right? And lots of pictures, right?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I blame the people at the NRA for not hashtagging.
No.
Entertainment segment of the show next Wednesday will be most common guns used in movies. Okay. And then we have the technical quiz on Wednesday. We'll also be talking about Tennessee. Wait, are we talking about Tennessee or Wyoming? I think we're talking about Wyoming. Or is it Oregon? We got all kinds of states right here.
Uh-oh. Piano messed up.
I'm moving these down.
No.
So now we're talking about Oregon next week.
A secretary that's not as attractive like he is, you'd think they'd do a little better job.
Yeah, the thing is, you'd think that with that same situation, he wouldn't be harassed as much, but with the amount of complaints I get about his...
I would just work like I get paid, minimally.
That's pretty much what Dano's doing.
So next, we have Thursday of next week. We'll be talking about range toys. I'm not sure what that means. And then we'll be talking about Mike Pannone in the training segment of the show.
Nice.
And Thursdays, we talk about events. So anybody who's a member of Gun Channels can head over to Gun Channels, click on the resources tab at the top, and the firearms calendar is one of the options there in the various resources on the website. And anybody can post events, something you're interested in attending, something you do attend, something you're familiar with. Maybe you have pictures of it. Maybe something you wish you could attend, but it's on the other side of the country. Post it. Then so people find out about it and attend, take pictures. That's pretty cool. So we know that Pink right now is probably taking a bunch of pictures. He might post some of those on the internet. I don't know if Maggie's taking pictures or not.
Yeah, I'm taking a handful. I kind of wanted to just see everything. I figure tomorrow I'm gonna take more pictures. But yeah, he's been taking the picture and posting them right away.
Ballistic?
And Ballistic is taking pictures, but he has a analog camera, so he'll have to post them later.
It's vintage. You wouldn't understand.
Pictures? Is he mostly taking pictures of the women?
I don't have any idea what he's taking pictures of. Probably all them race guns and stuff. All that dorky, nerdy things that he likes.
Yeah, that's true.
So that'll be Thursday. We'll also have Gun Channel story time next week. Store number. So it's a very special Gun Channel story time focused on Dano. Maybe he'll bring some insight to that one. It's also very sad. It's one of the most tragic of all Gun Channel story times.
Oh, really? Okay, that one, huh?
A man lost his job. He probably had a family to support, so that means children went hungry, probably on the streets. We don't know, but I can assume.
Well, sometimes kids eat a lot. You kind of got to push them out the door.
They were young kids. This kid was really
Yeah, you
20.
can't kick him out when he's 6.
Oh, you can. It's just they probably won't survive.
If your parents did kick you out on the street take solace in knowing that on Friday there will be a Daily Gun Show, and we're going to talk about loaning to the museum from private collections in the alternative gun topic. So that'll be interesting. Loaning, I'm assuming, to a museum from a private collection, or vice versa, the amount of guns we get to experience that are on loan. Then we'll talk about the gun biz for all the homeless kids that day, working with a small gun shop. So I think that one came up from Yankees letting people know about how he's working out with that gun shop up there. And we can talk about all kinds of stuff like that. That'll be next week. So look forward to that. At this point, we're pretty much done with this show, except we've been saving the movie of the day because Z was showing up.
What was the patch panel story for today?
We talked about free 99 patch that looks like Best Buy
Price tag.
price tag. Yeah, it says free 99 on it.
What's the story behind it?
Marco.
Marco wanted it and made it.
Okay.
Takes too long to make. Nobody asked for it ever, so there's two of them.
Now see,
one Marco
there it
had.
is. That's the kernel of the story right there. That's what I was digging for. I didn't know that was the answer, but see, that's the behind the scenes story right there. That's big.
If I was on Shark Tank, free 99 would get me kicked out of there. We'd get kicked out of the Shark Tank.
It's one of only 2 patches made though. So I mean the rarity of it is exceptional.
Kicked out of there. We'd get kicked out of the Shark Tank. They're not saying anything over there. It's been 18 minutes? No.
I see. Way to go, Arctic is the last thing I see. That and damn math.
Yeah, 45 minutes ago. So that was, 17 minutes ago or something. Crazy. We don't even have an audience on the YouTube side right now. I think that's it.
I do think
we're gonna do the movie.
Yeah.
Iger Sanction.
the Iger sanction.
Every day. Does this have anything to do with guns? There might have been like a revolver in it.
Dude, come on. Really?
Eastwood in it.
Clint
All
Eastwood.
right.
Yeah, but I don't remember. It means like a bunch of. They're
All right, man. Just before you get me thoroughly pissed off for the weekend, I'm going to post a couple links here. All right, there you go. There's the IMFDB for the Iger sanction, which is a 1975 thriller directed by Clint, who stars as Dr. John Hemlock, a former assassin who is persuaded to accept a final sanction. While leading a group of climbers up to the Eiger Mountain in the Swiss Alps, so there's your Swiss guns, adapted from a novel by the same name by whatever Travanian is. It's noted for its spectacular climbing sequences as well as being one of the earliest directorial efforts by Clint. And yes, there's a Model 40, there's a Model 10, there's a Lottie L35, there's an Ithaca 37.
Dude, there's 4 guns in this movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
The movie. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Technically, it's a gun movie, but 4 guns.
He is an assassin. See, I don't know why you hate on Clint so much, dude. And I think this is the second time that he worked with George Kennedy. The first time, I think, was Thunderball and Lightfoot.
And I love that Bronco.
It's like this. It looks like him climbing up a mountain. They're talking most of the time.
Because they climb a mountain, and it's like the mechanic thing in that it has to look like an accident. That's how a good assassin works, right?
So then it's a mountain movie. It's not a gun movie. See,
What?
he didn't. Now I'm going to use it.
Whatever.
Using the mountain.
It's a movie about an assassin, so it's an assassin movie.
That doesn't make it a gun movie.
Assassin. I'm starting to go with the other guys here.
Like, I give a fuck.
Well, I'm giving it a thumb up for sure.
Okay.
Good movie, and it's I don't think of it as a gun movie, so that's why it's not getting 2. But it does get 1, and it is worth watching. It's like is it a thriller or like
It's a good movie.
It's got some twists or whatever, and it's good.
Yes.
And it's 70s.
Yeah, I'll give it a thumb. I'll give it 2 thumbs up just because it's got Clint Eastwood in it. So
I can work with that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Has Ballistics or Pink seen it? They're allowed to go today.
Ballistics said, I'm doing homework, so I doubt he is. I haven't seen it.
The way his parents would let him go to the NRA if he took his homework with him.
Is homework what he says when he's drinking beers?
No, he's legitimately like doing homework.
That's when he's banging hookers in the bathroom.
Already. He said, "Dad, I don't understand this question. Will you help me?"
You got it wrong too.
Yeah. No, that's funny.
It didn't help at all.
So nobody was there. No thumbs for Iger.
It might be too cerebral for him. That's okay.
I just haven't seen it, dude. You guys know me. I don't watch stuff.
You're too busy.
5.
What's the name of the movie?
So DF2 is saying that he used the guns a lot, so 4 is okay. I remember him using his ski poles a lot, or like climbing ropes a lot. But anyway, so we're getting.
I just want to say,
where Eagles.
the guys at the NRA thing, Christine Weiss is supposed to be there. So if you can get a picture of her.
If you call her that, she won't talk to you because that's not her name, by the way.
What?
But that's beside the point. No, her name's not Christine. Kirsten Joy Weiss.
Joy Weiss. Okay. Just get a picture of her.
Ballistics saw her already,
Nice. He's nice.
Oh,
but he didn't take a
Picture?
picture.
She was at the booth.
Oh, for crying out loud.
He's scared to talk to girls, so
Yeah, I know, right? It's terrible. Be the president's
Well,
son.
she's a woman.
So Moon is saying Tori Nanaka is there. I heard that she ain't with Glock anymore.
She is not. You are correct. She is no longer a Glock member.
Does that make her better or worse for everybody?
My opinion of her is unchanged.
Ooh.
Better. Shoots a real gun now. Probably made out of steel.
Oh, she's going to flip over to a metal gun because of Bob.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I swore once already in the show, and I've only been on for 5 minutes, so I just need to keep quiet.
Well, we added word Eagles Dare thanks to Diecaster on the YouTube side because we need some movies for the upcoming thing. Is this weekend the second weekend of the month? No, it's nowhere near the second.
It's the last weekend of the month.
I don't know what day it is. So I guess that'll mean we're about done. Thanks for the movie suggestion. I guess I was wondering when we're going to be getting suggestions from our Patreon people again. So anybody that wants can send us some suggestions for show topics, for a movie of the day. Ideally, we can talk about a new gun shop every day with everyone's help. We get usually dozens of people listening to the show live and then hundreds of people listening to the show after the fact. So we only have 200 or something shows a month. All right, what am I saying? 200 shows a year. Or am I doing the math wrong? A little bit over 200. So anyhow,
like 250 something, 260, 260, I think.
Okay, so if everybody would send in pictures of the coolest gun shop they know, we'd have a pretty fun selection of gun shops to go through every single day.
No, I'm not saying they should do this, but even if they send in ones they don't like, I'm not saying we could badmouth them for you, but I'm not saying we couldn't be convinced not to. Just saying.
Thank you. All right, so with that, this has been episode 300. Hopefully everybody's been enjoying the ride. We were always tweaking it and fine-tuning it. Decided to get rid of Dano. We'll see how that goes. Give us some feedback on it.
Did you give him the This is Sparta? Is that what happened to Dano?
He was standing next to the hole.
This is Daily Gun Show!
What were you saying about a hole? Those are dangerous. You got to be careful if you're standing next to it.
Well, this is episode 300, man. Surely you've seen that movie.
Or at least
I gotcha. I see what's going on now.
Okay. Good man.
Yeah, it was almost like old times this morning at the start of the show. It was me and G. So I guess we're going to wrap her up. Before we do, I want to really thank our Patreon supporters. They help make the show possible. If you want to support us on Patreon, just come to the Daily Gun Show channel, and while you're there, subscribe and like this show, share it with your friends, try to get the word out that we're doing this, and we've been doing it for 300 episodes. It's over a year, and we really would like to see some more support coming. It really helps us to keep doing this. And on that, we'll end with a quote by Clint Eastwood. Gun makes its own tune, which is true. So thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see you on Monday.
Did anybody hear the quote, or did it glitch?
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.
This is Sparta!